Hey y'all, I'm Tim. Welcome to the Mr. Maple Show.
Hey, I'm Matt. Today we're at the Raulston Arboretum. We're actually here during the Maple Society event, and we wanted to get this awesome gate on camera for one. As we walk through the Raulston Arboretum, we're going to give you a few of our favorite highlights here at this beautiful arboretum on the campus of NC State. It's one of our favorite arboretums here in the South. There's some amazing Japanese maples here and a lot of really cool plants.
I think we don't need any further introduction than like, subscribe, and share, and let's get inside and check out some of these cool plants.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Check out these unraveled.
Yeah, that's a nice sweeping box here.
Some really cool plants through here. A few things start in fall color. Not a lot that's really got there all the way. Here's a Maiku Jaku.
Yeah. Large ginkgo right here starting fall color. Now, over here, we got to go check this plant out because this plant is often one of the plants on the symbol for the JCRS. I mean, this is one of the most famous plants here at the JCRA. And this is a very old, very aged Acer Palmatum dissection. This thing's got some really nice age to it. It's here at the turnaround point for the parking lot. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, really cool plant. One of the most photographed ones here at the Raulston Arboretum. Not quite in fall color, but you're getting some bright reds picked up on this. It's typically a deep maroon, so you're just starting to get some brighter reds going on. And I could look at this tree out of leaf. We actually talked about it in a previous video, out of leaf, when we were visiting here, dropping off some plants, because the structure on this thing is amazing.
Yeah, this plant is pretty spectacular. There's plants all around this arboretum. And JC really love Japanese maple. So often when you're standing at one maple, you can see another maple. So we're going to be talking about lots of Japanese maples today because Mark Wethington has taken that up a next level, and sometimes you can see 2 or 3 Japanese maples from the other Japanese maples. So let's get on in.
It sound right, boys.
Name is Mena Milad, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Mr. Maple Show. I'm from Texas, and we're here today in the 2022 Maple Society Convention at the Raulston Arboretum. And you know, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to join the Maple Society. It's a great, great group of colleagues. This is my first year to join. Lots of good speakers, lots of good people, and I'm just learning a whole lot of information that's really, really helpful. Just so interesting. So if you haven't already, I'd really encourage you to join.
Hey y'all, I'm Tim. Matt and I are both past presidents of the Maple Society. It's a great group of people. We get geeky on maple stuff. We talk cool plant stuff. And there's also the newsletter, the quarterly newsletter that goes out, which is full of super maple geeky stuff as well. Go to maplesociety.org, sign up you can go in and sign up to become a member with the Maple Society, get your confirmation email immediately, and then you're part of the Maple Society. Make sure you join.
You'll be glad you did.
I love this area in the Arboretum. There's so much going on. That second Okigon over there is pretty special.
Yeah, that is a really cool weeping Subuldianum from Japan. Not found too often in the nursery trade, but that's definitely a nice specimen there with that nice weeping habit over top of this waterfall down here by the visitor center.
Right. I don't know if it's aired yet when you're watching this, but we did a highlight video on Acer Subuldianum second Okigon. That'll be coming soon if it's not already on the Mr. Maple Show.
Some really nice lace leaves around this side over here. And there's some really cool Trompenberg on this side over here. A lot of cool plants down this way.
So we're here with the Maple Society. We've got a lot of Maple Society members here. How are you doing today, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Marcus. So, Marcus, what have you thought about this Maple Society event?
Oh, it's been real informative. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, it's good to get around all these folks that know more than I, you know, expand my knowledge, and it's been a great time. I really enjoy it.
What do you think about the J.C. Raulston?
Oh, it's incredible. Everything's labeled. I mean, I could spend days in here.
Right. It's an amazing arboretum. It's really a treasure here in the South. It's one of my favorite places. I'm partial to it because one of the first arboretums we got really close with, so I feel like it's, you know, part of us too. I always feel partial about this place, but it's a great arboretum for maples.
Absolutely. Very nice. Some large specimens out here.
Yeah.
So guys, as we're coming up through here, a lot of cool plants. We've got Wabi Bito back here. We've got a really large coral bark type. This one is actually Akikawa Hime. So this is one of the dwarf types of a coral bark. We've got a batwing maple back here as well. There's cool plants all up and down through here.
A little bit of each. Family. An Acer saccharum right there.
Oh, nice. Starting to light up, isn't it?
Yeah. Apparently it's a cultivar.
Oh, nice. I think that one's Apollo.
I took a picture of it. It's called Black Mill Majesty.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of that either.
Ah, cool. We need to get it grafted.
I know.
Nicest one I've ever seen, just about.
It's pretty nice.
Hey guys, there's a really interesting maple over there. It's called Confederate Ghost.
Reenactment.
Yeah, I love that plant.
It is?
I love that plant.
So this is a pretty cool plant here. We actually have the native chalk maple. We have a variegated form of that called Confederate Ghost.
Acer leucodermae is extremely heat tolerant in the South. And this was a chance seedling found by one of our good friends. Amazing plant named Confederate Ghost. And the reason being it's called that is because it's got this ghost-like variegation on an Acer leucodermae.
Yeah, it's one of the very first maples I've ever seen outside of palmatum that has a heavy reticulated vein. So this one's almost like that Ghost series. You get that like green veining. It's really funky in the early spring because you get like etching over like a light mint color. Really cool tree. Our friend Ted Stevens found this when he named it Confederate Ghost. We've been getting it in production, so we actually have been grafting this one some. I think it's gonna be a fun one for a more heat tolerant area too, being a chalk maple. These are native even in East Texas, so it's a really cool plant to grow.
And the leucodermaes, they go to yellows to oranges in the fall. So, I mean, they get some really good fall color as well. So I appreciate you showing us this Confederate Ghost here.
Of course, it really kind of caught my attention, and it's an amazing plant. Looks really nice.
Behind us we have Acer elegantium X, Johnny's Giant.
This was a cross that was found by Harold Johnson of Alabama. It's the same guy who introduced Benny Sheehan, Abigail Rose, and so many amazing plants. Named after his wife, Johnny, Johnny's Giant is a fast-growing, heat-tolerant Japanese maple hybrid with an Acer elegantium, a Chinese maple.
Yeah, it's extremely durable, extremely fast-growing. We donated this tree to Raulston. It hasn't been here that long, and you can see it already has a great size to it. Tends to get out there at over 1.5 foot of growth a year, so an accelerated growth rate, and some really nice changes to it too.
And it thrives in a more sunlight situation. If you put it in the more shaded location, it is a little bit slower grower. With some sunlight, it definitely takes off a little faster.
All right, let's check this one out. This is probably another one we donated here. This is Acer Fabric, Michael Steinhardt.
Love this plant, Mena. And this is a Trident Maple that's yellow. And when you give this tree some sunlight, it really picks up the yellow colors. This tree goes to yellows and oranges in the fall combined. I mean, it's got a phenomenal fall color as well.
Yeah, we're actually shooting this in late October, so it's right before its peak fall color. It's actually at its greenest stage, but we found this to be one of the very best yellow Trident Maples for the South. It holds that bright yellow really late into the season. Again, we're right before fall color. You get some really nice fall colors on this too. Oranges infused with reds and yellows. I would say the primary color on this one's orange in the fall though. Really nice changes to it. I find it to be probably the most premium of any of the yellow Trident Maples.
Yeah, and being a selection from Middle Tennessee, this thing is fairly heat tolerant. For a yellow tree, it can handle a lot of sunlight, which is quite surprising. Guys, we're standing here at a larger specimen of Acer palmatum higashiyama. Love this plant. When we first started making business cards, higashiyama was the photo I'd put on there because it's always been one of my favorite Japanese maples. The way this thing leaves out with that pink reticulated variegation in the spring is pretty unique and special.
Yeah, let's get on this path and check out some different stuff. Oh man, I see one of my other favorite plants I donated down here. Okay, so we gave this one, we actually put this one in an auction for the J.C. Raulston Arboretum, and Mark Weathington of J.C. Raulston said, that's going in the ground. So it came back out of the auction, put it in the ground here. This is Acer palmatum Seiho, one of the smallest leaf Japanese maples we've done.
I love this plant, great for bonsai. Definitely so unique because those secondary flushes on the leaves are so tiny. They're some of the smallest of any Japanese maple.
Yeah, this is one of the best specimens I've ever seen too. It really loves this spot. It's looking amazing. You can see why it's popular for bonsai. This one has a bright purple border in the early spring, but one of the smallest leaves of any Japanese maple. There's a ton of good sign on that one. Just saying.
That there it is.
I'll be back.
I love this Arboretum for everything that this thing is. I mean, it's got so many cool Japanese maples all around this place.
Ah, nice Acer species maple, also donated by MrMaple.
So this is Acer waxmanii. You know, many of y'all may not know that species because it's a new species. Really cool. It's a complex hybrid which became its own species, named after Professor Sid Waxman, who did so much with plant breeding. But the cool thing about this is an Acer Grisham ex Nicoense that was then hybridized with Acer triflorum. So it's half triflorum, a quarter Grisham, and a quarter Nicoense, creating Acer waxmanii.
Yeah, really cool plant here. We're actually grafting these onto sugar maples. It's a really unique addition to what you can have with kind of a exfoliating bark here. It's got some characteristics of Nicoense, some characteristics of Grisham, and a few of the things I love about Acer triflorum. Really unique plant to be growing here in the landscape. Really interesting breeding program going on to develop something like this all together. Okay, so there's some other really cool Acers in here. Here we have Acer robustum.
Love this plant. Some people say this is synonymous with Acer seriferum.
Yeah.
Amazing plant. Gives you some really nice yellows to oranges in the fall. It has more of a rounded leaf to it, a little more than a typical amenum style leaf. A little more than that, but not quite as much as a full moon.
I love the oranges and yellows you get on this in the fall. I think not enough is done with this species. It's one of my favorite things in Section Palmata. You know, definitely we're gonna be doing more of this here at MrMaple. It's one of my favorite plants.
I think so too. And over here, we've got one of Brian's favorite reticulated types. We've got Acer palmatum shikaratsu sawa. I know he mentioned this is one of the original trees on that 1700s
Right.
list. It's kind of like the OG Ghost series.
Don't worry, guys. Brian's been on us to get this more in stock. We'll be producing more of this one for sure.
And it's got that, in the springtime, that crisp white mint green kind of color with green veining. Pretty amazing plant. Acer palmatum shikaratsu sawa.
Wow, there's some nice oak leaf hydrangeas in here. I don't even know if I know this one.
Dewdropsis dolabrata aria.
Oh, nice, nice. Another good shade conifer. Going through a bihu here. And then last but not least down here, we've got a gold digger. Love that bark on gold digger. Going into the winter, it's more red, and then it'll get to a bright yellow phase late winter when it's out of leaf.
Love that plant. Coming up through here too, we've got Osmanthus heterophyllus hariyama. So this is a giant
Hey, Harry
hariyama.
Mama?
Hariyama. This is one of the coolest Osmanthus heterophyllus. It's got that extra spiky habit.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a chance seedling from Osmanthus heterophyllus sasaba.
There's a lot of plants you want to touch in the garden. Guys, this ain't it. Leave this one alone. Don't run up and grab this one and give it a hug. If you're a tree hugger, this is not the plant for you.
It has those extra spikes. It was introduced in Japan and brought back from Japan by our good friend Ted Stevens. And amazing plant, very unique, very different. It looks like little Japanese throwing stars or samurai swords. And if you get too close to this, it will prick you. So amazing plant.
Hey guys, this is one of my favorite forms of weeping ginkgo. This one is Ginkgo biloba Ross Moore. Now I love this form. I find it to be very unique, low weeping spreading habit to it.
Now, Ross Moore was a plant collector in the Greensboro area, and he found this as a chance growing ginkgo and got it to one of our good friends, Brian Upchurch, and it got into the nursery trade that way.
Yeah.
We love this plant. It's a plant that has one of the most horizontal and cascading branches of any of the ginkgos.
Right. This one's put on a little bit of a standard. This was actually donated by our good friend Brian Upchurch, and we were actually able to graft off this tree and then donate some back to Ross Moore's family. They contacted us when they found it on the website, and we were honored to get this one back to some of his family members. Very unique tree. I love this one. It's got a good clean leaf, very classic ginkgo leaf, awesome fall color like any ginkgo, but a nice low weeping spreading form. For us, it's been one of the most pendulous ginkgos we've ever seen.
Yeah, I love it. You notice here, all these branches here start cascading down off of the lateral branches, which really gives this tree that extra cascading effect.
Yeah, this is one of the earliest grafts of this, so you can see it's a nice spreading form. Grafted a little bit higher up, so you got a little bit of a standard look there, but just low and weeping. So I've been informed this is all green, but hey, fret not, I'm in neon orange today. I'm here to talk about one of my favorite evergreen species of maple. This is Acer Fabric. Now this is an evergreen maple from China. It's really unique. It's actually in section palmata. So believe it or not, this grafts onto Acer palmatum. This is in the same family with Acer japonicums, Acer shirasolidums, and Acer palmatum. So a close relative to what you think of as a Japanese maple.
Acer palmatum is in that section palmata. Now this is super closely related. It's actually in section Panurvia, down towards the very end of it. And the cool thing about this thing is it grafts onto palmatum. It's super closely related. I love this plant. Donling Jane of UGA actually coined the term the emerald jade maple.
I like that way better than the Faber's maple.
It's a way better common name because this one has a shiny, glossy green leaf. Now we're here in late October here in Western North Carolina, or actually in Raleigh, North Carolina, and this plant is amazing. Now the seeds here have already turned and some of them have started falling. But if you come see this plant in September, this plant has bright red samaras all across the glossy green foliage.
Yeah, that glossy green sheen is really highlighted by all those like almost pink red. I mean, they're a really picked up color, adds a real ornamental quality to this plant. One thing I think is really cool about Acer Fabric, it's often used as an indoor plant or even like a small bonsai in China. So it's a fun indoor plant. It's definitely an evergreen that can handle a little bit of shade and give you a very unique color. And it's just, you know, it's a Japanese maple, or actually a Chinese maple in the same family with many Japanese maples that's evergreen. So how unique is that?
Pretty awesome.
Guys, check out this giant old lace leaf. It's one of my favorite massive plants here at the J.C. Raulston Arboretum. A hawk just landed right behind you, Brian.
This plant is amazing. It's super old. It's one of the oldest lace leaves in North Carolina that I know of. Love this plant. It has more of a bronze color in the spring. It's more green right now. Goes to a lot of reds in the fall. Amazing plant here in the White Garden here at the J.C. Raulston Arboretum.
Pan around, Brian, right behind you. There's a hawk on the ground. Hey guys, thanks for watching our highlight walkthrough of the J.C. Raulston Arboretum. If you like this kind of content, do us a big favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel here on the Mr. Maple Show. It's one small click for you, but actually a few clicks, because we want you to like, subscribe, and share. It goes a long way toward helping this channel out.
We really appreciate you watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this J.C. Raulston Arboretum. This is an amazing arboretum here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We love this place.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.